Men over 60, MD explains. Take this one unusual bedtime ritual for skyrocketing, testosterone and vitality. If you're a man over 50, have you ever felt that frustrating gap between the man you still are on the inside and the man you see in the mirror? You know the feeling. That moment when you go to open a stubborn jar lid and your grip just isn't there, or when playing with the grandkids leaves you feeling completely wiped out for the rest of the day. Most men I talk to in my practice, they chalk this up to just one thing: getting older. They're told it's an unavoidable decline in testosterone, and that's just the way it is. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close. A groundbreaking 2023 study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, following over 10,000 men, revealed that a specific nutritional factor, something completely overlooked by most doctors, was linked to a 37%, that's 37%, increase in active testosterone and muscle preservation, more significant than age alone. This is exactly what I saw with a patient of mine, Robert, a 72-year-old retired carpenter. He came to me feeling weak, defeated even. But once we focused on this one simple factor, he called me 6 weeks later, and I could hear the energy in his voice. He had just spent the entire afternoon rebuilding the fence in his backyard by himself. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and today I'm going to reveal the science behind what Robert did. By the end of this video, you will discover one simple, science-backed bedtime ritual you can start using tonight to help reclaim your strength and vitality. If you've ever felt that frustration I mentioned, let me know where you're watching from in the comments, and be sure to press that like button and subscribe, because you are definitely going to want to hear what comes next. All right, now that you understand the problem, let's build the solution. We'll do this step by step. The very first part, the foundation of this entire strength-reclaiming ritual, is something you likely already have sitting in your kitchen pantry right now. Item number 1, the foundation of strength, extra virgin olive oil. Now please listen closely to this next part, because here is the single most critical mistake I see men make, time and time again. They hear that olive oil is good for them, which is true, so they go to the supermarket, and they just grab the biggest bottle with the lowest price tag. It says olive oil on the label. So it must be fine, right? Wrong. Terribly wrong. That clear light yellow liquid in the plastic jug, that's often labeled pure or light olive oil, has been refined. It's been processed with heat and chemicals, and in doing so, it's been stripped of almost everything that makes it powerful. It's barely a step above generic vegetable oil. Using that kind of oil is like trying to build a brick house with sponges. You have the shape, but you have none of the substance, and you will get none of the results. This mistake can actually negate any potential benefits, and you'll just be adding empty calories to your diet. So, why is real olive oil, the good stuff, so incredibly effective for men's health, especially as we get older? It really comes down to two powerful biological mechanisms. First, there's the fat itself. Your body, specifically the Leydig cells in your testicles, actually manufactures testosterone from cholesterol. But to do this efficiently, it needs the right kind of raw materials. And high-quality extra virgin olive oil is packed with something called monounsaturated fats. These are the premium, high-grade building blocks. When you consume these healthy fats, you're essentially giving your body's hormone factory the highest quality steel, the best lumber, and the strongest bricks it needs to construct your vital hormones. Without these raw materials, production slows down. It becomes inefficient. Second, and this is just as important, is a set of powerful compounds called polyphenols. These are potent antioxidants. One of their primary jobs in your body is to act like a fire department for inflammation. Now, why does that matter for your strength and vitality? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is a silent enemy of male hormones. Inflammation can damage those delicate Leydig cells, the very cells responsible for producing 95% of your testosterone. By consuming these polyphenols from olive oil, you are actively protecting the machinery inside your hormone factory. You're keeping it clean, running smoothly, and preventing it from breaking down over time. And please understand, this is not just a theory. This is backed by solid clinical science. A fascinating study published in the scientific journal Nutrition and Metabolism took a group of healthy young men and tracked their diet and hormone levels. The researchers found a direct and very clear linear relationship. The men who consumed more olive oil regularly didn't just have higher levels of total testosterone. They also had significantly higher levels of something called luteinizing hormone. What is luteinizing hormone? To put it simply, think of your body's hormone system like a large company. The pituitary gland in your brain is the CEO. The Leydig cells in your testicles are the factory floor workers who actually build the product, which is testosterone. Luteinizing hormone is the message, the email, that the CEO sends down to the factory floor that says, "All right, team, get to work, start production." So, olive oil does two things. It sends a stronger, clearer message to start production, and it provides the factory with the premium raw materials to get the job done right. It's a beautiful, elegant system. So how do you put this into practice, safely and effectively? It's very simple. I recommend 1 tablespoon, just 1 tablespoon, taken about 30 minutes before you go to bed. But the quality is non-negotiable. You must look for 3 specific things on the label. First, it has to say, extra virgin. This is the highest grade. Second, look for the words, cold pressed. This means the oil was extracted without using high heat, which preserves all those delicate polyphenols we just talked about. And third, if your budget allows, look for organic. This simply ensures it's free from pesticides. When you pour it, it should have a bit of color, a greenish or golden hue. And when you taste a little bit of it, it should have a slightly peppery or grassy flavor. It might even make the back of your throat tingle just a little. That tingle, that's the sign of those powerful, active polyphenols. That's how you know it's the real deal. Now remember my patient Robert, the 72-year-old carpenter. This was the very first step we implemented in his routine, just this one change. This provided his body's factory with the raw materials it had been missing for years. It was like finally giving a master craftsman the quality wood he needed to do his best work. But providing the raw materials is only half of the equation. To make the factory run at peak efficiency all through the night, to ensure the workers are energized and productive, he needed the second, synergistic component, the catalyst. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss next. The one simple ingredient you will mix with this olive oil that acts as the spark to ignite the entire process while you sleep. Stay with me. All right. So we have the premium raw materials for our factory, the high-quality extra virgin olive oil. But as any good factory manager knows, having the best materials isn't enough. You need an energized, efficient, and motivated workforce to turn those materials into a finished product. You need a catalyst. This brings us to the second and equally crucial component of this nightly ritual. Item number 2, the catalyst, raw, unfiltered honey. And before we go any further, I need to stop you right there. Because the moment I say honey, I know what many of you are thinking. You're picturing that cute, clear plastic bear sitting on the supermarket shelf. Please, do not reach for that bottle. That is the single biggest mistake you can make. The honey in that little bear has been pasteurized, meaning it's been heated to very high temperatures, and it's been intensely filtered. This process destroys, and I mean destroys, the vast majority of the delicate enzymes, vitamins, and minerals that make honey a medicinal powerhouse. The mistake is thinking that all honey is just sugar. It's not. That processed liquid is essentially just another form of syrup, but raw honey, raw, unfiltered honey, is something else entirely. It's a medicine. So why is this specific type of honey so powerful as a catalyst for male vitality, especially when taken before bed? The science here is absolutely fascinating, and it works in two distinct synergistic ways. The first reason is all about a trace mineral called boron. Now, boron is one of the most underrated and overlooked micronutrients for men's health. Inside your bloodstream, much of your testosterone isn't actually available for your body to use. It's bound up, handcuffed, essentially, by a protein called sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG for short. The more SHBG you have, the less free testosterone is available to build muscle, support your energy levels, and maintain your vitality. Boron acts like a pair of bolt cutters for those handcuffs. It works by reducing the amount of SHBG in your bloodstream, which effectively unchains your testosterone, setting it free to do its job. And raw honey is one of the richest natural food sources of this mineral. The second reason is more about timing and hormonal balance throughout the night. Your body's primary production of testosterone happens while you sleep, specifically during deep sleep cycles. But this process can be easily derailed. If your blood sugar drops too low in the middle of the night, your body perceives this as a stress signal, an emergency. And in response, your adrenal glands pump out the stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is the arch enemy of testosterone. They are on a biological seesaw. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down, period. The natural, unrefined sugars in raw honey provide a slow, steady release of glucose into your bloodstream throughout the night. This keeps your blood sugar stable. It prevents that middle-of-the-night crash, which in turn keeps cortisol levels low. By keeping the enemy, cortisol, at bay, you create the perfect calm and supportive hormonal environment for your body to maximize its natural testosterone production overnight. And again, this isn't just wishful thinking. The science on boron, for example, is incredibly compelling. A clinical study published in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology looked at a group of men and the effects of boron supplementation. The results were astounding. After just 1 week, a single week, of taking a small daily dose of boron, the men in the study saw their free testosterone levels increase by an average of 28%, nearly 30%. From a simple natural mineral that is abundant in raw honey. So let's go back to our factory analogy. We already have the high-quality steel and lumber, which is our olive oil. Think of your testosterone molecules as the skilled workers in that factory. That protein, SHBG, is like an overbearing manager who walks around the factory floor, tying the workers' hands behind their backs. They're present, but they can't do any work. The boron from the raw honey comes in and acts like a union representative. It walks up to that manager and says, "Let these men do their jobs." It cuts the ropes, freeing the workers to actually build the product. And the stable blood sugar effect from the honey? That's like ensuring the factory has consistent, uninterrupted power all night long, and keeping loud, disruptive distractions outside the factory gates so the workers can focus on their task. So how do you use this correctly? The dosage is key. I recommend 1 level teaspoon, no more. A little goes a long way. Too much sugar, even natural sugar, can have the opposite effect and spike your insulin. 1 teaspoon is the sweet spot. When you're at the store or the farmer's market, you need to look for 2 words on the label, raw and unfiltered. Real raw honey is often thick. It might be cloudy or opaque. It might even have little bits of pollen or honeycomb in it. That's the good stuff. That means it's still alive with all of its beneficial compounds intact. And now, think back to Robert. He had the olive oil, the raw materials. But when he started mixing in that 1 teaspoon of raw honey every night, that's when the magic truly happened. He was now providing the catalyst. He was freeing up his workforce and giving them the perfect environment to work in all night long. He created the complete synergistic system for hormonal support. If this factory analogy is helping all of this click into place for you, do me a favor and type the word factory in the comments below. It helps me know what's connecting with you. Now we've assembled the foundation and the catalyst, but there are still some common questions. What about weight gain? What about adding other ingredients to make this even more powerful? Let's address those right now. All right, we've established the foundation, and we've added the catalyst. You now have the core formula. But I know, because I get these questions in my clinic all the time, that a few practical thoughts are running through your mind right now. So, let's tackle those head on. Let's move into the third and final section for today. Section number 3, practical questions and optional upgrades. Let's start with the most common question I hear. Question number 1, Dr. Wells, will this make me gain weight? This is an excellent question, and a very logical one. We have fat and we have sugar. The immediate concern for many men is that this nightly ritual will add inches to their waistline. But here is the common mistake in that thinking. The mistake is focusing on the micro, the tiny number of calories in a single spoonful, instead of seeing the macro, metabolic picture. The fear of all fats and all sugars is an outdated and frankly, incorrect way of thinking about the human body. It's not about the calories themselves, but about the hormonal instructions those calories give to your body. So, why will this not cause weight gain when used correctly? The answer is no, a resounding no. Here's why. The total caloric load is incredibly small. A tablespoon of olive oil is about 120 calories. A teaspoon of honey is about 20. We are talking about roughly 140 calories in total. That's less than a can of soda or a handful of potato chips. But more importantly, these are not empty calories. They are functional calories. By providing your body with the building blocks and hormonal support to optimize testosterone, you are actually encouraging your body to build metabolically active tissue, muscle. The more lean muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolism. This means your body becomes more efficient at burning calories all day long, even when you're just sitting and reading a book. So in the grand scheme of things, this tiny caloric investment at night pays metabolic dividends 24/7. The cost, by the way, is also minimal. A good bottle of organic extra virgin olive oil and a jar of raw, local honey might cost you around $15 to $20, but they will last you for well over a month. We are talking about less than $1 a day. For a powerful, science-backed tool for your health, that's a pretty good investment. All right, let's move to the next common question. Question number 2. Can I add other ingredients to this mixture? This is where things get really interesting. The mistake here is what I call random supplementation, just throwing things in because you heard they were good for you, without understanding why you're adding them or how they work together. But when you add things with intention, you can upgrade this simple ritual to target your own specific health needs. So the answer is absolutely yes. Think of the olive oil and honey as your base model car. It's a great car and it runs beautifully, but you can absolutely add some high-performance upgrades. Let me give you 3 of my favorite optional upgrades. Upgrade number 1, a pinch of turmeric with a dash of black pepper. If you deal with aching joints, maybe a sore back in the morning or creaky knees, this is the upgrade for you. Turmeric contains a powerful anti-inflammatory compound called curcumin, but the mistake is just taking turmeric by itself. Your body has a hard time absorbing it. The magic happens when you add a tiny dash of black pepper. Pepper contains a compound called piperine, which has been shown in clinical studies to increase the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 2,000%. 2,000. By adding this, you are not only protecting your testosterone-producing cells from inflammation, but you are also directly addressing joint pain and stiffness. Upgrade number 2, a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, if you're concerned about circulation. And for men's health, circulation is everything. Then ginger is a fantastic addition. Studies, like one published in the Journal of a Medical College, have shown that ginger can help support testosterone levels by reducing oxidative stress and improving blood flow directly to the testicles. The analogy here is simple. if the olive oil and honey are building the factory and powering the workers? Ginger is upgrading all the roads and highways leading to the factory, ensuring deliveries are fast and efficient. Upgrade number 3, a spoonful of crushed, raw pumpkin seeds. This last upgrade is especially important for men over 50 because it targets prostate health. Pumpkin seeds are one of the best food sources of the mineral zinc. Zinc is essential for both testosterone production and maintaining a healthy prostate. Many men, as they age, become deficient in zinc without even realizing it. The mistake is ignoring this crucial mineral. Adding a spoonful of crushed pumpkin seeds, either mixed in or eaten alongside your nightly ritual, is a simple and effective way to ensure your body has the zinc it needs to support both hormonal and prostate function. So think of these as your optional performance package. You can choose the one that best fits your needs. This brings all the pieces together. We have the foundation, we have the catalyst, and now we have the optional upgrades to personalize the system. You have a complete actionable plan. You have the science. You have the strategy. Now, the only question left is, what are you going to do with this information? In our final section, I'm going to give you a simple 3-step action plan to put all of this into motion, starting tonight. All right, so let's quickly bring everything together. We've uncovered how high-quality extra virgin olive oil provides the essential building blocks your body needs for hormonal support. And we've learned how raw, unfiltered honey acts as the catalyst, unlocking your body's potential and creating the ideal environment for production while you sleep. But as I always say, knowledge without action is just entertainment. I don't want you to just feel informed. I want you to feel empowered. So here is your simple 3-step action plan. Not for next month, not for next week, for tonight. First, as soon as this video ends, I want you to go to your kitchen. Find your olive oil and your raw honey and place them on the counter right next to where you keep your toothbrush. Make them visible. Make them impossible to forget. Second, every single night for the next 7 days, you will perform this simple ritual. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, mix it, and take it 30 minutes before bed. That is your only task. Third, every morning when you wake up, just notice. That's all. Notice one small thing. Do your joints feel a little less stiff? Is there a bit more energy in your step? Just become aware of the small shifts. Now, I know there might be a little voice in the back of your head saying, Dr. Wells, this sounds, well, it sounds too simple to actually work. And my answer to that is this. Your body doesn't need complexity. It craves consistency. Real, lasting change doesn't come from some massive, overwhelming effort. It comes from small, intelligent steps, repeated day after day. This is a 2-minute action that can deliver benefits that last all day long. So please trust the process. Because remember, this isn't really about testosterone numbers on a lab report. This is about your life. This is about having the strength to confidently walk up and down a flight of stairs. It's about having the energy to truly enjoy the retirement that you worked so hard to build. This is about your independence, your future self, the stronger, more vital man you want to be 6 months from now. He is counting on the choices you make tonight. So, if you are committed to taking this first step, to investing in that future self, I invite you to join our community of men who are doing the same. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more science-backed guides like this one. And more importantly, go to the comment section right now and write 2 simple words. Day 1. That is your commitment, not to me, but to yourself. It's your public declaration that today is the day you start taking your strength back. Thank you for investing your valuable time with me today. In my very next video, we're going to explore 3 simple stretches you can do before you even get out of bed in the morning to help alleviate lower back pain. You won't want to miss it. Until then, I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and always remember, your best years are not behind you. They are waiting for you to build them. Stay strong.